This is for your 10 out of 10, I think. This is for all. You haven't missed one yet, I don't think.
I have not.
Olivia's correct again.
Oh, clean sweep. Holy moly.
I have 4 or more. Can I please try to stump you on these?
Yeah, let's go.
Can I just do one? Because I have it.
Yeah.
Here.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby.
That's so.
Is that Russian?
I think that might be Russian.
I think it's Russian.
I feel like it was
Russian.
I think that's from
Lolita.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis or Lolita.
Yeah.
So your answer is Russian?
No, it's Taylor Swift. I'm not an idiot.
In my old Kentucky home. Kentucky.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Kentucky Commons Podcast. I am Michael Moeller, joined tonight by David Satterley, John Renane. We are at Brewgrass Homebrew Supply here in Louisville, Kentucky. Special guest tonight, Olivia Krauth, Kentucky politics reporter and fancy tripod owner. Olivia, thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're going to learn all about you here in a second. If you are familiar with our show, you're listening to this already. Thank you so much. I hope if you haven't already given us a 5-star review, you've gone and done that. If you haven't checked us out on YouTube, please do that. youtube.com/@Louisville Ale Trail. Subscribe, rate, listen, share, do all those things. So you can see us just awkwardly interact with each other in person around this tiny table that someday we will upgrade to a bigger, like a couch situation, maybe.
We're going for a booth. We like the booth.
A booth is good.
Yeah.
A couch would be a little much, but I like sitting on a couch with.
I'm not going to sit on a couch and talk to you guys.
Yeah,
I'll do a booth.
What's on the? Is there a cover on the couch? I don't know.
Yikes. Well,
if you want to watch this, I'm feeling especially animated. So, like, if you want to see all the faces I make at John, this is pretty much the way
using
to
your
do
hands
it.
a lot tonight, JD.
Yeah.
And then, Olivia, usually we start the show the same way that we always start the show, which is a weird way to phrase that, with a beer to share. And David brought the beer tonight.
Yeah, I generally do. But this is going to be like 3 minutes of cutting.
Oh, now
wax.
we get the David.
Yeah.
There is a band called David Wax Museum. So that might be that segment.
Oh.
Yeah. It's from like the 90s. David struggling with wax.
Okay, so 2 breweries recently celebrated anniversaries, and they're intertwined by a superstitious brewer. Just a little stitious, maybe. Spencer Guy. So this beer is from Akasha Brewing, where Spencer used to brew before there was the Atrium Brewing.
And I used to bartend.
Yeah, so this
I
beer's
forgot
got
about
a couple little roots. This was one of the first barrel-aged offerings that came out of his tenure at Akasha. And I think the recipe has been continued and modified at both locations to a couple different things. But this one dates all the way back to 2019. And this is a bourbon barrel-aged brain check. This was a homebrew recipe that Spencer had for a long time.
I remember the day he came in the shop to make it.
Yeah.
All those many years ago.
Yeah, this was Christmas gifts.
I will open it if you want to keep talking about it.
I'm
Okay,
still
you're getting
talking
there.
and still opening. But Olivia's just looking at me weird, which I get. I totally get. But this is a bourbon barrel aged coffee stout, and it does have cocoa nib, cinnamon, and vanilla. Oh, did I mention it's from 2019?
Yeah, I remember when he did this whole series. They did like vanilla. He did like a cacao or some kind of spicy version. There was like a double vanilla.
Yeah.
And there was like one other one that he did as well. Have you given up the ghost? That's the worst bottle opener in the history of humanity.
This is now David's
Hey, you got it.
using
You got
the.
Yeah, why
there
do
we go.
you doubt me every single time?
And naturally, I decided to break out the Louisville beer mugs for proper glassware since there's a little bit of coffee in this beer.
Oh, dear Lord.
How do you get a Louisville beer mug?
If you want one, there's only one way to get one from here on out. It's going to be to come to the, can we announce it already? By the time this comes out.
Better be announced.
My Morning Beer Fest, the post celebration event from Louisville Beer Week. It's
Saturday, October 28th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's right. 10 a.m. You can arrive at 10 a.m. Grab yourself a beer. We'll have breakfast food. We'll have Saturday morning cartoon activations. We'll have a coffee bar. And then guess what? You're out of there by 2 p.m. You still have the rest of your day. You can go take a nap if you want, then continue on. Doesn't matter to us, And
we did get custom bathrobes made for the event
We
that
have-
will be available, and you pour it like a psycho.
No,
Okay.
you gotta do the hard pour. But yeah, so if you want the mugs, I think we're doing the first 70 or so.
Till we run
guests.
out. Yeah.
We'll get these mugs and yeah. So it's okay, John. It's all right.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
Have you been to Akasha?
I'm just so perplexed.
There's a lot happening. And
Just what's
it's mostly
going on.
David. It's mostly David Satterley related at this point.
I'm doing nothing wrong.
It's a hard pour.
The pouring.
It
No one
needs-
knows why he does that.
We need to release the carbonation
No,
stuck within the. Do you want the bubbles in your tummy?
No,
or
you don't.
no?
I'm a fan of the hard pour.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's totally fine.
Trust me, then
Do we-
the way that I did that
Mhm.
made it better.
It's intentional.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
gosh. Okay.
Well, cheers,
Probably.
guys. Olivia, we cannot wait to
Cheers.
crack into your story.
Oh,
so much
great.
for
As we crack into this, we know you have a long-lived story in the journalism and media world. This beer has a long-lived story. As soon as you cracked it, I smelled booze and cacao,
Yeah.
a little coffee, some kind of fudgy.
There's a super thick foamy head on this still, despite my pouring efforts.
A lot of cinnamon.
It was really
not
fudgy
bad.
when it first came out.
Yeah, it's holding up.
Yeah.
It's holding up just fine.
It's a little bit thinner than I remember. Maybe.
Well, it is from 2019, so
Yeah.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Very, very nice beer.
Stringent on the end.
From the good old days when Spencer was
It's
just
probably like sat in the back of my car for like
Yeah,
5 weeks, if we're being honest.
and
But
you just
No,
beat
it's-
the hell
yeah.
out of it while you're opening
it's still
it.
pretty fudgy. There's some cinnamon in there. I get a little bit of barrel, but it seems to have. I hate this fucking word, but like thinned out a little bit. So maybe maybe there's some oxidation characters in it, but that wax was super tight on there, and there's no rust around the cap. I like it.
I like it.
I've got one more if I want to. No, I'm just
No.
kidding.
Okay, I'm not gonna ever watch you open wax again. I forgot how much it pains me.
So point is, both Atrium and Akasha celebrated their birthdays recently, their anniversaries, and they had that shared tide with Spencer. And why not celebrate it here on the show? Because Atrium's been a really good friend of the show, and we've had folks from Akasha on in the past before too. So shout out to Spencer and all his brewing prowess.
Shout out.
Olivia. Hi.
Yeah. Hello.
Thanks for coming.
We just beer. That was called beer nerding out. You
Yeah.
just want to know what it looks
Not
like.
prepared.
Well, yeah, it's going to happen every once in a while.
That's
but,
okay.
But what we
That's
want
all
to talk
right.
about now, and so there's a lot of reasons why we wanted to have you come on.
Oh boy.
Obviously,
Not
and
those
this is not something that we're going to be like talking about necessarily. It's not going to be the main focus, but
It's okay.
next month is the governor's election here in Kentucky.
It is.
And given your background, I thought it'd be interesting to have you come on, not just to comment on that, but just kind of talk about your career as a political reporter in the state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
But before all that, you were at Tech Republic, you're at Insider Louisville, RIP. You're the
Rest in
education
peace.
reporter for Courier Journal, and then later the
Yeah.
Kentucky politics reporter. And it's not like you're just like on these beats doing like your own little thing. Like you've won awards in Louisville for both, right?
Incredibly, I have.
Incredibly. Talk to me.
I for one am proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, you're the best education reporter and the best politics reporter. How does that
Yeah,
make you feel?
I'm currently the best politics reporter in Louisville. That's like technically
Accurate.
true. Yeah. I have lost the trophy though. I don't know. Typically I would get the trophy at the award ceremony. And for whatever reason, my trophy was not made.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll get you a new one.
We can get you a trophy.
Thank you. It was made, and then of course I very dramatically quit my job and had told the person with the trophy to give it to an editor at the paper that I no longer have contact with. So, if
Like you
anybody-
stopped getting it delivered, or
it wasn't. It was like it wasn't supposed to be delivered. It was getting handed off from person to
Oh.
person. At least that's my understanding. So, if anybody out there has my trophy,
That's why we've invited you on. We're
Yeah.
finding that fucking
I
trophy.
Spreading the network out.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. That's the main reason I said yes to be here.
it's okay. We can put your like mailing
Be
address in the show
warned.
notes.
Please,
Yeah,
yes.
we'll get it to
Yeah,
you.
phone number,
Not to
mailing
worry.
address, it's fine.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your background in journalism, though, how you got
Oh,
into it, and then
geez.
like your journey to get where you are now.
Oh gosh. I mean, it really started with me being petty in high school toward a high school English teacher. She told me my thesis statement on a Hamlet paper was not that good. And so then I, of course, went and had a really successful career in journalism despite her.
We have to at least ask if you remember the thesis
So you
on
got
Hamlet.
So you went to Mail.
No,
Oh.
I'm from Northern Kentucky, actually.
Okay.
Actually, what I get most is, you went to Manual.
That's where I went. So I would have assumed as a Hamlet connoisseur.
This is the first time I got Mail. I am pretty impressed by that. But yeah, no, I went to the University of Louisville and started doing journalism there at the student newspaper. Quickly, kind of like rose through the ranks there. Became editor-in-chief when I was 19. So like halfway through my sophomore year, which was a lot to put on a 19-year-old, but I did it and whatever, and graduated, survived.
Yeah, I went through that. I kind of black it out, but
I
it's
do.
there.
You sound like a veteran coming back from the Great War.
I'm better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize at the time how much that was, because I was also like taking a lot of classes and I was in a sorority, and it really was a lot.
So you rushed.
I what?
Yeah, I
I rushed?
Yeah.
for sororities?
I actually technically didn't. I did.
They read the Hamlet report and they were just like, "You gotta
This is
be
so good.
in this
She's
sorority."
That's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
no.
And then they read your teacher's criticism and was like, "Fuck this bitch, you're in. You're just in."
That's exactly. Actually, you know what? That's exactly what happened.
I did my research before the show.
I can see that. Yeah.
We actually have the high school history teacher.
Good.
yeah.
I'm so glad. No, I graduated from U of L, and I'm so glad you brought up Tech Republic because like
You tried to get me a job there one time.
I did.
Yes.
That was the most confident answer I've heard yet.
Very like early on, you're just like,
can't
I
find
was
out
looking
if that
for
was
a
a
job.
Question or
And
declarative?
you were just like, oh, you need to talk to these people here. This position just came open.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
I am like pulling. I just remember that too. I'm pulling out from just like.
I don't remember that at all, but I also
Olivia
absolutely
Krauth, this is your
believe-
life. Like, so, yeah, we're just going to go through
Just
everything that's
gonna-
ever happened.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here in
Yeah.
amazement. Yeah, no, okay. Well,
Remember that parrot you had when you were 17? We've
I,
got him in the wings. No pun intended.
I,
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, so Tech Republic.
I did the Tech Republic thing for approximately 4 months, and then I quit because I started covering education at Insider. Was there for a year and a half ish
Mhm.
Isn't
until
that what you like?
they ran out of money and closed.
And then they. Yeah.
Rest in peace. Yeah. It closed in a very dramatic fashion. And then the Courier Journal picked me up. I started working there covering education again.
I think they got Joe Sonka at that same time, right?
Yeah, it was me and Joe who got picked up. Our other colleagues were not as fortunate. But that is my life. And then I kept covering education at the Courier for 3 years and covered state politics for the last year until again I dramatically left a job.
You got off easy though, because the people that have to cover education now, they don't talk about education. They just talk about like school buses.
It's true.
I have some thoughts like
And superintendents.
All right,
And
so
superintendents, yeah.
give us some backgrounds on the school bus situation, and then also give us your thoughts, just for people that don't, because this isn't just a Kentucky show.
I mean,
so.
it became a national story.
Oh yeah, it did.
oh yeah. Yeah.
State humiliation for all of us Kentuckians.
Oh yeah. It was where to begin with the school buses in Jefferson County.
Yeah.
I
You think
mean,
being like third worst in the country in reading is bad?
Yeah.
Think about school
We
buses.
can't even get to
School
school.
buses.
Like, we're not even ready to read.
That's why we're bad at reading, because we can't get to school.
That's why we're
That's
not
fair.
writing like Hamlet theses that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Listen,
Speak for yourself, Mueller.
it
These
was
guys over here.
not a good thesis statement. So okay, according to
Yeah.
that teacher, but how do I describe the cluster
Mm.
that was
My favorite place
The
to
start to
begin is
school.
that we spent $1.5 or $2 million hiring like a consulting company out of Ohio
that
or
seems
wherever they were
wrong.
from. Where do you think the story begins?
Because what I like about this is you're trying to quote my own reporting back to me, and I don't think your numbers are right. But
friends of the show will know.
my-
I will totally make these numbers up off the top of my head.
That seems really high. Because so I had not covered JCPS for a year at this point, and then all of a sudden all this went down, and kids were getting home at God knows what hour.
10 p.m.
Yeah.
later.
That sounds a little bit more right in terms of numbers. And my editor at the time called me in and was just like, "We need you." It was like a bat signal. And
There was a school bus and
just
just
a
a
stop
Yeah.
No, I'm imagining like you're in a cabin in the woods, like just chopping wood, and all of a sudden you get a knock on the door, and they're just like, "There's a situation. We need you back."
That's basically how it went down. And I had to go find the exact contract with the numbers that you were talking about. And they thought it was just one contract, but there were several contracts over the course of years. But basically, JCPS is a school system. And due to the fact that it is a school system, it transports children to classrooms. And it does so via school buses. And it has a lot of school buses, a lot of kids, thousands and thousands and thousands of kids. They tried to create a system where they needed fewer drivers because they can't hire enough drivers. And therefore, they tried their best.
God love them.
But
God love them.
But did they? I don't know. Basically, it truly was a cluster. They tried to have all these new start times, and it didn't go super well. All these kids got home really late. There were kids who weren't getting picked up, and
and this is all on the first and second days of school. Like
this was the first day.
It was
of
the
school.
first day of school.
This was the first day of school, and it was so bad that, correct me if I'm wrong. No, it was like they had to cancel.
They canceled
the
Wednesday
next-
through Friday.
Yeah.
Well,
And
because
then-
they always started on a Wednesday, so they went on Wednesday. So it would have been Thursday and Friday. They canceled, and then they canceled the next several days into the next week. I've seen a lot with JCPS, but I've never seen anything.
So when you get that
But
bat
I
signal,
thought-
what does
Yeah.
that look like to you? You're like, okay, I've got to
what's on your
give information to the public
It's
who's
kinda
clamoring.
like
Where do you start? Where do
rising
you
up from
dig
the
in?
dead.
Who do you call first?
Well, in that situation, they were looking for a certain contract, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll just go get it. Basically, you get the contracts from. I don't want to bore the audience here, but you get it from generally school board meeting documents,
which is all public and
which
you
is
just
super public,
get that.
and I found all of it in a few minutes, and so it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty easy.
My takeaway from the whole situation is sometimes you just have to work harder, not smarter. I feel like they spent so much time investing trying to make this thing come into the 21st century that they forgot about the people who just have to drive kids to work, just get her to school, which is just training for work.
And then they ended up, to put a little bit of a bow on this, they ended up, I guess, working with UPS on logistical consulting.
That was around the time where I had put in my 2 weeks and I checked out.
Yeah, I was following the story. UPS called them out on
Yeah.
Twitter and they're like, hey, if you guys just want to use our logistics computer to track to make the routes,
Which
we
is
can just pretend that every kid's a
no left
package.
turns.
yeah, exactly. Shuffling kids from bus to bus, in the middle of a Myers parking lot or something.
Yeah,
No.
I know the offer was there from UPS. I don't know if they took them up on it.
So that's around the time that you decided that there's some things going on and maybe you want to wipe your hands clean,
My hands. Sure. Yeah. No, I quit. Yeah. That's
right.
what you wanted to say.
And you weren't the first person at the particular publication that had quit kind of unexpectedly in recency. People did it before you, and there's some other folks that have done it since. And it seems like you weren't just, I'll tell you after this.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Hot goss.
yeah.
Hot goss.
You're really not following the news. I guess.
Hot goss.
Well, just point is you were very public about your decision to leave.
Yeah.
And you have had amassed quite a following on social media, Twitter, TikTok. Like you were doing these things while you were covering, these beats.
Yeah.
And building an audience, getting people engaged, not just in Kentucky, but beyond Kentucky too, of course. So when it was time to announce that you were calling it quits, what was that process like for you? Were you like happy to tweet that out? Were you just like struggling like, okay, what do I got to say? I need to say something.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I put in my 2 weeks at the very last second on a Monday afternoon / evening. My last day was a Friday. I had planned, honestly, on telling all my followers after I had turned in my badge, my laptop, everything that Friday. Because a big reason I've been very open and transparent about this. A big reason why I left was because they really started cracking down on my social media and my Twitter in a way that I felt was unjust and
some would argue violates the First Amendment, not me. But
yeah,
some.
you can make that argument. And I'm not against like having a social media policy as a journalistic institution, but at the same time, like I know very well that they didn't enforce it for the first 4 years of my tenure, and then they decided to enforce it in the way I felt. I won't really get too much into it, but like they weren't fighting fair, and so I wanted to be able to speak very honestly about that, and I felt the only way I would be able to do that is if I waited until after I was like done. And then of course that wasn't what happened. I just decided one night really at I think it was like 10:40 at night. And I was like, I'm done. Like I let it slip to a different journalist earlier in the day that I had quit. And I was just like, no, I'm not going to play around. I'm not going to let it, go through the rumor mill, because that's how my job announcement had kind of got handled, and I didn't like that at all. So I just started doing what I always do, which is started tweeting. And I had wanted to kind of have everything, I wanted to really draft everything and refine it, and I didn't. I just kind of let it,
I feel like that's
I said what I said.
That's how Twitter works.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like let it rip.
I would propose this to you as well. I feel like the following that you have, or like the people who are tuned into what you're doing, are more tuned into you via the other outlets that you engage with that are not the media company that you worked for. I feel like many more people probably read the words or hear the Taylor Swift, like, what do they call those, like cameo or karaoke things that you would do via social media apps rather than through a central like media company, a legacy media company's platform.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the negotiation seems weird to me. It's like, you guys are trying to tell me not to do this on my accounts, but it at least seems to me in my head that the reporters, especially the good ones, are bringing way more value to these companies than the companies are giving. And of course, like a salary is a nice thing to have. And so is like health insurance and all that other shit. But the value proposition is not one-to-one.
If you're not tweeting as a reporter, it's weird.
Yeah.
And
if you're being dishonest, then you're losing value as a reporter. Then you're just a shill. Then you're just like a mouthpiece for whatever the editor of that paper would like, or media outlet would have you say.
Yeah.
Does that track or not? Or was that ever part of the equation in your head? Does it feel that way? Does that feel false? They feel like too much overstated?
I think it got to a point where if I didn't run every single syllable that I said on Twitter past an editor, I could have run the risk of getting fired on the spot. And that was not, I wasn't going to play. They thought I would, and I wasn't. So,
fuckers.
They're out of politics reporter weeks before the election, a nationally watched election.
It's like two elections that are happening in the country?
1 of 3.
1 of 3.
But it's probably the most competitive. Yeah.
Well, to me, it just shows you that tell me if I go too far, but like mainstream media, corporate media, legacy media, large existing media platforms. So I would just think about the business model. Like we know what our business model is with Louisville Ale Trail. We design Passport. We design products to engage people. We try to promote tourism. We have relationship with the breweries. We have relationships with other things. That's the value exchange. I know what this homebrew supply store does. We talk to people. We teach them how to make homebrew. The value exchange between a reporter and the people that you talk to is it's strange because it is mediated by that media company, like especially if you're talking about like a legacy media company. Do you ever think about that when you are making these decisions? Like the fact that the value that you're creating is run through or tempered by, the editorial staff or the ownership.
What is your question, John?
How do you view the relationship that you have with the people that you're providing value to?
I mean, I'll say that it's radically different now than it was in this point, like in June.
Yeah.
And it's also radically different than it was this point a year ago. I understand my worth now, I think, in a way that my previous employer did not.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did lose several subscribers, paying subscribers, when I spoke with the facts, which is my job as a journalist.
And to be clear, we're not talking about just like a small, like, little independent paper here in Louisville, Kentucky. We're talking about the.
I mean, I feel like we can probably just talk about it 'cause I think everybody knows.
Yeah, we're talking about
the Courier Journal.
No. I'm saying the parent company of Courier Journal.
No, and I mean, like, I
that's what I'm talking about. Sorry.
I do have issues. I mean, I was a guild member. I was very, active in that. And so I do have my issues with Gannett, but when I talk about my issues now, when I talk about my issues that led me to quit, it wasn't like the net, like it was local.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I feel like.
Gotcha.
Well,
go
back. But I do feel like for a lot of people that are in, I mean, you were what, mid-senior level position at what you were doing? I'm gonna call it that.
I wouldn't do that because they did post my old job pretty quickly, and it's apparently entry level.
No. See, you were mid-senior and you left. So now they're going to hire someone at entry level so they can pay them less. I think I'm confident where you are. But the point being, like, those kind of like negotiations that you have, like for yourself, like I should personally filter this because I'm worried about losing my job or things like that, always comes down to, like, to me, some managerial failure at some point. Not even at the larger, because you're even giving credence to the larger publishing company, which is the largest circulated like publisher in the United States. It's Japanese owned. It's huge. And I have a couple friends that work for them as well. And I've never heard these specific complaints against this company. And to your point, it comes down to like a lower middle manager type scenario. Mm-hmm. And I've experienced that too. That's just my experience, but I get it. I would never, I personally would never filter myself through a company, even on the reporting side of it, because how would you build your own personal integrity? How would you move beyond reporting? I mean, there's always going to be some bias, but like, if you can't report on what you're positioned to report on, what's the point of having you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I never really thought about, oh, well, like, what is my employer going to think when I tweeted or TikToked or wrote anything until they started, getting mad about it. So,
because your employer should think, Livy's out there, she's digging in, she's telling the truth, people are engaging, that's going to sell some papes.
Yeah.
That's going to get those newsies out there, like, hey, top of the headline for a quarter, mister. Like, people are out there and they need to pay for the news. That's the business model, or is it? That's where I get like conspiracy brained about all this shit. Like, are these people actually focused on? Is that the bottom line? Is that how the business of the media works these days? I don't know. I don't know where their money comes from or where it goes, but they certainly don't seem to always treat the people who are actually digging in the best, in my personal opinion, in Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's why you can't get sued. You just say in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
I don't get that
Minecraft.
meme.
It's like allegedly. but it's like in Minecraft.
So we are at the time of this recording about a month away from the election.
Are we?
Ish.
Seems like it's always my birthday.
Yeah.
So just
Sorry about
Oh
that.
gosh.
Happy birthday.
yeah.
So what is that like in a newsroom, like leading up to a big election like this, in your experiences in the past, like just either talk to colleagues where you've experienced, like, is it just like that hectic? How are you kind of reporting on that situation?
Honestly, it was never really that hectic. And I will clarify, like, I have ADHD, and I got on the politics beat because I wanted to be on the politics beat. And so, like, the really hectic days in Frankfurt during the legislative session, the hectic days in the craze around elections, like, that's what I kind of live off of. Honestly, in a newsroom leading up to an election day, it's a lot of meetings, and it's a lot of meetings saying the same thing, but it's with different people every time, slightly different people.
They're probably all reporters who are like boots on the ground type folks too, who are telling you all this stuff.
Yes, sometimes
I was trying to be
it's
sarcastic.
that. Well, no, actually, sometimes it's like bringing in, we've already had the meeting, but we need to bring in like our breaking news reporters, or sometimes like summer interns or something like that, and be like, okay, well, you're gonna go and you're gonna just like stand outside this polling place at 6 a.m. So it's a lot of meetings, but then election night you get food. And that is everything.
Yeah. If you weren't worried about your personal integrity for reporting, you do get food.
Yes, you do get food. You typically get pizza. That's a big thing in the politics world.
Pizza party.
Yeah.
It's a pizza party. Yeah. And
What kind of pizza would you all get in the newsroom?
you know, I was gonna say something about that. I don't remember. It was never Papa John's. It was something.
Yeah, that'd be a bad move. Politically speaking.
It was always something like very refined and slightly burnt. And I don't remember. It was not my favorite, but it was the only thing that was available to eat.
I got
so,
So as we're leading up to this, given your current situation, are you still keeping an eye on things just in case, you know, maybe you get picked up, or maybe you just want to report independently?
Kind of. It's honestly, it's really difficult to keep an eye. Like I have an idea of what's going on. But that's because I'm, again, the best politics reporter in the city of Louisville until mid-July of next year. Again, if you have
you're gonna win again.
If you have my trophy, please let me know. Yeah, I mean, it didn't really occur to me as a journalist, but it's very apparent now. It's very difficult to like stay on top of the news, just period, as just a regular citizen.
Because I guess you lose like the press pass and you lose like the AP. What's the big difference between doing it as a quote unquote citizen journalist versus doing it as part of the press?
I think a lot of it is you're no longer on a lot of those mailing lists, the press release ones. Like there is one very large campaign. I won't say who it is. Maybe I will at the end of this year.
That was easy.
Won't add
Journalism,
me
folks.
to their like campaign mailing list, which is really wild because his like the governor's press people as an administration, they added me on their own. My personal email. So I do get all those emails sometimes, but like I don't really get all the emails that I need, and so I like don't really know.
Okay, I'll just ask some hot takes since we're doing journalism.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that's pay to play shit? Do you think that they won't give independent access because they want the people who are in alignment with their, it's all like
beholden to another organization?
Yeah, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Do you think there's a little bit of that in play? If that makes any sense?
I think,
or do you think it's oversight?
I don't think it's oversight because I asked repeatedly to be added to that list. I think it is more so maybe right now I'm just a regular civilian.
Yeah.
You are not just a regular civilian.
I'm not just.
Well, we're all just regular civilians,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole thing. It's like nobody's fancy, nobody's special. We're all human beings on this planet Earth with something to do, something to add.
But yeah, I mean, I like ultimately like they don't have to add me, and if they don't,
because you're not part of their system.
I'm not. I don't even know what system you're talking about, but like, no, I'm not part of
It's
their
doing the
system.
Andy Samberg thing. I
I
threw it on the ground.
I don't get it.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
But that's the thing. It's like, it's not nepotism per se, but it's like if you're in the system, you get the access. And if you're like an outsider, you don't get the access. And that's the opposite of what good journalism should be, in my opinion. Good journalism is not a system. It's good journalists actually doing good work.
Yeah. I mean, like I would love to be on the mailing list, which sounds really ridiculous. Like nobody wants to be on the mailing list.
Well, Olivia, I'm happy to include you on future Ale Trail and Beer Week press releases.
Please do.
I will send you all the news about Beer Weeks, events, and
do.
beer festivals. It's going to be great.
I'll
It's
just
all I've
email
ever
you.
wanted.
You know,
You've got
Thank
media
you.
passes to everything. You're on,
You
the,
know-
we
on
don't
the
even,
list.
we don't even offer media passes, but we'll just make sure you start
We'll
getting
make one
those.
just for
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
I
that
do actually
that
still
trophy. We'll find the trophy.
Yeah,
We'll find the
we'll find
trophy.
that shit.
That's my main thing.
I have one more question relating to Kentucky politics for now, at least. I have never been to Fancy Farm. I've always wanted to go. So there are so many folks that aren't even aware of it, let alone have been to it, obviously. So tell us a little bit about what it is and then your experience going. John, David, are you aware of this?
I wish I wasn't, honestly, but yeah.
David,
I'm curious to hear this
David,
answer.
do you know what Fancy Farm is?
Fucking Fancy Farm.
Yeah, I don't know. Educate me.
Yep.
Okay.
We're going to talk more about the good old boy system.
Because you just went. Was that your first time going?
That was my first time. Wow. Thank you so much for asking that question. That's an incredible question. Fancy Farm is a fever dream, essentially. You go in early August to like West Kentucky to a church picnic. It's literally just a church picnic. Do you like church picnics?
I generally like picnics, not so much churches.
Okay. I feel that. You won't get the sense that it's a church because there's so
Is
many
there
politicians
Gambling and drinking.
Incredibly, yes.
Sounds like a church picnic. Yeah.
I
Men.
drinking sun-kissed, yes.
Oh.
Or is it sun-dropped?
It's not a Catholic. It's not a Catholic church picnic.
It is a Catholic
It's very much like
church.
revivalist.
I don't know.
It's St. Jerome.
Oh, okay.
St. Jerome
See, my mistake.
Catholic. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm Catholic. We drink and gamble.
Well, I will say
Sports gambling now available in Kentucky. Buy
I went
DraftKings.
one time. I went this one time. I did not see any alcohol there.
Okay.
Which
They brought it.
I know is
What's the farm aspect of this?
well it's a fancy farm.
Yeah.
And so
Those are words.
I will say if you can look across the street if you really want to and look at my Mitsubishi. There's mud covering both sides of the car because I did drive through the fanciest of farms. It had rained, and so it's that mud is 2 months old. So yeah, but basically you go there. And gambling. Yes, there's gambling. There's tons of bingo. Okay. That's apparently a big thing. Okay. But the big thing is you go and you sit there in the 90, 95 degree heat.
Wearing tweed
yeah.
or some other stupid fabric.
Yes. Yeah. And all the politicians or people who are running for office go and get a certain amount of time to try and both convince you to vote for them, but also to roast their opponent. And I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it 3 times. I'll say it so many times. They're not very funny.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean,
They try so hard.
Yeah.
Which makes it worse.
I always like to call it like the White House Correspondents' Dinner if it was like held at the KFC buffet down Preston Street.
I love that.
That's kind of what
I haven't heard that before.
Well, I just came up with
really-
that just right now, but I think that's like
I always like to
that's
say
how
it.
it feels to me. That's how it feels inside.
Yeah, but it's also outside.
Yeah, and very muggy, very, very humid.
Yeah.
But they also have a great spread, great barbecue apparently.
I honestly did. And this is,
Hot takes.
The political organizer, God love him, Stephen Elder, great guy, does tremendous service for Kentucky. He is aware that I think this of the barbecue. I didn't like it.
Oh, I mean, it's no Buc-ee's,
I do like Buc-ee's barbecue. I do.
What do they yell? Brisket on the
brisket on the board.
Yeah.
No, David, sorry, you do that.
Sauce on
You
the
don't have
board.
to. Yeah, David's got it.
Oh, that was
Hooray!
good.
Sauce on the board.
You guys both deserve $28 an hour. Like I'm telling you
Thank
right
you.
now.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
God damn you,
Anyways,
Buc-ee's.
I'm sorry that
was
your
really
fancy farm
good.
wasn't very fancy and it like got your car dirty.
It's
and
also not really
No.
on
it
a farm.
wasn't
so-
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the brisket was bad.
I
Didn't
don't
sound
even
very
know if it was.
fancy.
I don't even know if it was brisket. I think it was just
I don't
like
know.
Just some kind of
In
generic
technicality,
barbecue.
it
But
was
Yeah.
just
you see these
barbecue.
videos come out every year, and everybody's just like, "Oh, can you believe all these people booed this person that much?" And it's like that's the whole point. Like the
Oh,
entire
yeah.
point is that people just boo and jeer at each other, and like it's stupid because nobody's convincing anybody of anything. I mean,
It's a hallmark of a dying media ecosystem, in my opinion. Like nobody gives a fuck about that shit except for people who are at least 15 years older than me.
No,
like I would
think
say.
I think I saw they did it in the Roman Empire, so that's probably why they.
Bread and circuses is
Yeah.
what that was called, and that was the beginning of the end for sure.
I mean, I think about Fancy Farm at least twice a week.
Fancy
sure.
Farm is my
Yeah.
Roman Empire. Now that I just came to that realization right now. Fancy Farm is in fact my Roman Empire.
Indeed.
Well, we just digested a lot of information, and because of that, Olivia, we were talking a little bit off camera before. Is that you've never
Lord.
had an Underberg before? So this is going to be your very first one on camera, recorded here for you to always go back to see your reaction.
Okay.
We are a big fan of Underberg on the show. They've always
don't
been
know
there
what
for
this
us, and
is.
every whether it was a big meal or heavy night of drinking, either way, it always makes me feel a little bit better. We all have our different methods of drinking these little bottles, but let me just tell you, Olivia, just real fast that this is an herbal digestive created with herbs from over 40 countries. So
40?
It's good because that's a lot of countries. For over 175 years, people have unwrapped these
Holy
little
shit.
bottles just like you are right now.
That's got to be like 5 generations
Why
of
does
excellence.
Every time he reads it, you interrupt him.
Well, I don't want to just do a
John,
straight read.
John, you got to stop doing that.
All
Actually,
right, come on.
Yeah, because after it's a good meal of a beer, experiencing not just his complex character, but a delightful feeling of well-being. It was founded in 1846 by Hubert Underberg, and this is enjoyed by seeking a pleasant sensation after indulgence. Made with care and matured in Slovakian oak, this herbal blend is a tradition handed down through 5 generations of excellence.
I thought so.
And Olivia, so you're going to keep this cap too. You always have to keep your first, and then you have to
Why?
decide if you want to keep others going forward, because you can then, much like Pepsi points or Coke rewards or whatever, you keep your caps and then exchange them for prizes and merch.
What kind of prizes?
Do you like
Oh.
trucks?
I love trucks.
Yeah, well, they're big, Underberg trucks. You
You
can
can't
get.
drive them.
You can't. Yeah, they're not that big, but like they're big for like.
They're like big Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
I did say that they have tarot cards for the spooky season.
Oh, I didn't
There's
see
a
that,
number of
really?
tarot cards. Yeah.
I
How
think
many
you
of
made that
these
up.
do I need to drink to get the tarot cards?
We'll find out for you.
Probably like
Patrick, if you're listening,
120.
Patrick, if you're listening to this episode, if you'd like to give Olivia tarot cards and to replace her trophy that she didn't get, that's
No, not
an
to
option.
replace it, to supplement the loss. We're still getting it.
So your first one's always going to be a little bit different, but
Mhm.
let me just give you a tip, Olivia. You will just take it all at once. You're going to put it up to 45-degree angles. I usually let it pool underneath my tongue, and then you just take it as a shot all at once afterwards. I know that sounds weird. It's a little complex.
How is that different from taking just like a shot?
Because it's going
It
to
takes
bubble.
longer to
It's-
dribble. You kind of like
It's
let
a
it
small
have to let it
opening.
dribble in. Yeah, it's a small opening.
Yeah. Yeah. So to that point, thanks, Underberg.
Thanks, Underberg.
Oh, we have to cheers. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
dear God.
Cheers, everything.
Okay. I'm not even done with it.
You're okay.
Are you?
You can kind of sip and enjoy.
No, actually, it says it's not to be sipped. It's to be enjoyed all at once. So either way. But you see that little warming sensation that happens in your mouth going kind of down your throat right now.
I feel
No.
bright and alert.
Yeah, me too.
Like
The black licorice was really on point. When
It also
you
took
said
me
that.
exactly 45 seconds to debunk John's tarot card bullshit.
It's
they
true.
There are
they
no
offer
tarot cards?
normal cards.
No,
I
they
a
have
set.
tarot cards as well.
All right.
I'll put it in the show notes, folks.
Someone will be
I'll put it in the show notes.
the answer to this
I don't
question.
want the regular cards. I want the tarot cards.
You think I would just make up that Newberg had tarot cards?
John, you spend half of this podcast
That's
making
true.
up your references.
That's true. By the way,
Absolutely.
that Louisville spent, I
It's
think, I looked it up. It was
delicious.
$7.5 million hiring that consulting company about the buses.
You looked that up?
No, I was lying but I was not lying about the
Gosh.
tarot cards.
All
The
right.
tarot cards are real.
So
I want my phone.
Are you going to like Google it?
No, I'm going to look up my own reporting.
yeah, exactly. You
That's
don't have to
even
Google
better.
it when
That's
you know
even
the
better.
answer already. Is this the first show and tell that you have your own reporting?
No, I don't. Oh, so that I don't know. No, I no.
Well, that's all right.
It could be.
We would like to go on to that though.
Okay, yeah. Then
yeah.
my first show and tell will be my own reporting, but you can do your little spiel if that's.
That was
I'm
it.
sorry, I'm interrupting.
That's all right.
that was it.
Oh, okay. It would be nice if I remembered.
I feel like John just opened up a can of worms here that he didn't need to open up.
Yeah, the city spent $10.5 million on this consulting company
No, well, first of all, the city didn't spend anything.
with an additional $12.3
The
million
city didn't spend anything.
I actually like this dynamic
appropriation
right now.
fee, I think. And it all went through Mexico.
You all just need to get into the ring at
Paid-
OVW, you know?
Well, with Doge, I think they ended up paying it with cryptocurrency. It was a blend of Dogecoin and Ethereum and Cardano.
All this proves to me is that Michael and I need to have like a independent source for just to tell
I'm
Johnny's
getting fact checked
lying.
right
like,
now. You guys will see.
It's not like fact check when
Like
you
just
make
a,
up.
like a button.
It was between $1 and $1.5 million.
JCPS's bus delay disaster by the numbers by Olivia Krauth.
Who's that?
Who's oof? That was, I think, an award-winning reporter,
Yeah.
an award-granted reporter. She has not yet got through the
No,
award.
I've won plenty of awards. You don't need to focus on that one.
Yeah.
Alpha. Okay, here we go. Alpha Route.
That was them. Cincinnati-based? Did I make that up?
Probably.
Ohio-based, rather.
Massachusetts.
Ah, for fuck's
So
sake.
close.
If you just stop guessing, then we'll probably get to the bottom of this a little faster. And by the bottom, I mean, I
Okay,
just want to know
here
about
we
the
go.
four wheels and going round and round.
Because the wheels on the bus.
Yes,
go
yes,
round and round.
all the way to
That was,
town.
that was really good. Okay.
Yeah.
Since 2021, JCPS has paid the firm nearly $750,000.
All right, so I was basically right.
No, you were.
So, Olivia, that's what we deal with on a weekly basis. So moving on to a little bit of, we always ask our guests to bring a couple different show and tells, one beverage related, one not beverage related. What would you like to share with us first?
I mean, I think that I thought that one counted.
That
Yeah.
definitely does
Yeah,
count.
That
debunking
counted.
John was definitely worth a show and
Debunking.
tell.
I think we agreed that was basically right. Like
You
No,
basically you hear
no,
your own, you hear
no
your
one
own
agreed
things.
with you.
yeah, sure.
This bit is 6 feet under the ground, so
All right.
I'm done with that.
All right.
So that would be my first one.
Great.
Do I need to share my second one?
Yeah, do the next one.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and move on to the next one then.
Well, I brought many things.
Because we asked you to bring two things specifically.
I brought many things. I mean, you watched me walk in here. I had every
so
single.
John, why don't you pull
I had
one
beer.
of those things out?
Brewskis?
Yeah, bring the beer out first, and so we can talk about that.
Oh gosh. Well, I feel really, really guilty because it's not a Kentucky beer.
It doesn't matter.
I know that you told me that, but I still feel really guilty. So I have these lovely.
All right, what do we got?
I'm pretty sure we're all big Dogfish head fans.
Oh,
All right.
thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is my drink of the summer. I know it's October.
It's still like 90 degrees outside today, so
yeah,
it's fine.
this is
And the AC's out in the shop.
the how do you even pronounce this? Citrus
Squall. Yeah.
I was thinking about that. This has been my my go-to. I tried a bunch of different beers, kind of 7.5% and above this summer, and this was the winner. And it's gotten to the point. Obviously, I don't know this for sure, but it's gotten to the point I do believe that Clifton Liquors orders this specifically for me.
That's the kind of relationship you want to have with your corner store.
we do not speak, but all I know is that every time I go in there, nobody else has touched this particular.
It's in a secret section.
beer.
Like if you go into Clifton Liquors, you take a left and you head towards the back. There's a little like small velvet rope and it says award-winning reporters. And right behind that is a case of Dogfish Head Citrus Squall.
That's super close to actually what happens.
This is a new one for me.
Yeah,
It's
I've
a
never had this.
I've had it.
double
Okay,
golden
good.
ale, grapefruit juice, lime peel, and blue agave nectar. I can tell you the nose is like fantastic
Yeah, it
on
smells
it.
amazing.
Our perfect
For these folks going for like a little bit tick higher ABV. I don't think I've ever really had a double golden ale either. So that's like a new terminology for me, but I haven't tasted it. So I'm going to shut up.
Yeah. I mean, this looks fantastic. I mean, I love Dogfish Head. I love pretty much everything they ever do. I usually see this type of beer in a much lower ABV format. So I'm really interested in this.
Or in a much higher one from New Belgium. It's very fruity, very fruity forward. And Olivia, we know you report a lot on education and politics, but we'll do some like beer history reporting. Dogfish Head, oh geez, like this is a beer in good company. Dogfish Head has been one of the leaders about what did they used to tagline used to be like off-centered ales for off-centered people or something was like
Well, if
their
you
one.
Don't remember, you don't got to guess.
That was
That
their motto back in the
That
day.
sounds right.
If they still have that, I'm not sure, but that used to be what Sam Caligione.
Caligione.
I was hoping I pronounced that right. His motto was.
Stallion.
Yeah. He does talk a lot with his hands. Also, like, just one of those guys who's like just ripped for no reason, which is also really
No,
cool.
that's Garrett Marrero.
Yeah, Sam gets there. But anyway, I've always loved Dogfish Head. They're 60-minute, they're 90-minute, were always some of my favorite beers. They introduced Simcoe hops. They did so much to bring about the history. And then they kind of did a whole new thing in the era where big beer and craft beer were really kind of starting to kind of come to loggerheads. By big beer, meaning like AB InBev, Miller Coors, Molson Coors, rather. The first big merger was they were first, right? Dogfish and
Adams.
Boston Beer Company, and then New Belgium and Sierra Nevada were after that.
Right.
But they kind of changed the game. So Sam Adams, Boston Brewing Company,
Boston
I think.
Beer.
Boston Beer Company. And Dogfish had merged. They became one giant entity that's still, I think, traded under Boston Beer Company. And kind of, I think, changed the game in the way like the big beer model interacts with the craft beer model. It's still going to take a while till all those definitions shake out.
Don't you love
redefine it.
Olivia knowing this now?
I have
yeah.
absolutely
So anyway.
no idea what's going on.
You just like the juice. You just
This
like
is
the
I'm
journalism.
just trying.
This is
This is
business.
journalism.
This is
I'm really
journalism.
impressed
This
that
is-
somebody knows all this.
Well, it's hard to compete as a small guy.
For
It's hard to
sure,
compete as
yeah.
an independent journalist when you're dealing with like these gigantic corporations that are
There we
owned by
go.
like
There we go.
maybe Rupert Murdoch, maybe some descendant of like the Anheuser-Busch family.
Again, if you have to guess, you don't gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is your beer of choice for this year.
For the summer.
For the summer.
For the summer.
I think, yeah, this has got to be a seasonal. It tastes fantastic. Like
Mhm.
Thank you.
grapefruit and lime. I don't think I've ever really put that together. That's
Especially
good.
not
Little
a
agave
double
nectar.
golden ale.
This is
This reminds me of like a refreshing tequila cocktail. I
I
don't know.
mean, it's the blue agave. Probably.
It's a splash. Like there's a little sweetness in there. I like it.
You could
I'm so
add
proud.
some tequila in this, and it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, let's
You'd
not
be
do that.
wrecked. It's already 8%.
Yeah, it'd be a fun day at that.
It kind of reminds me of that. Have you ever had like a Stiegel Rita? Where you like
Yes.
take the Stiegel Radlers that are like 4%. They're imported from Europe. And then you just kind of like top off like an ounce or two or float of tequila.
I haven't actually done that. I've had a Radler before, but like I
you
don't
should
know.
try that. It's very,
I don't think I want
very
to.
in this vein.
I think I'll just stick with this.
Yeah, whatever
because,
you like.
You know, Clifton Liquor
have that
come through
section
for me.
Yeah.
And they are, So
I'm for it.
Well, thank you very much for sharing this.
I have so many other things that I could share, but
Oh,
like that's
I
I'm
know.
not going to.
Well,
Thank you for
You have a script and
I know.
your camera also turned off. I don't know if that matters, but
Thank you. Thanks, Olivia. Telling us
You're
how to
welcome.
produce our own show.
Gotta keep an eye on things.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do as a journalist. So, in addition to your journalism degree at U of L, you also had a minor in Russia.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, was that right? Or
Russian studies.
Russian studies? Yeah,
I did.
So,
I
was
did
that
have
literature or
that.
language or?
That was it turned it back on. That's very frightening. Yeah, no,
Nothing gets past you.
No. It was a bright light suddenly. It was more so like the
Culture?
language.
Okay.
No, it was language. It was the learning how to speak it.
Well,
learning how to read it.
regardless, for this bit,
Oh dear God.
we are going to play a little game I like to call Who Said It, Taylor Swift or Russian Author.
Yeah, we follow you on TikTok. You do know that, right? So we are, in addition to all of your excellent journalism, we are
Thank you.
also all aware and live vicariously through your, if it's a word, Swiftiness, through your.
I don't identify as a
I wouldn't call her a
Swiftie.
Swiftie.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just think
thank
it's going to be
you.
funny.
All right.
I don't identify as a Swiftie, but I do know what I'm talking about.
But
When it
Taylor,
comes to
if
Taylor
that,
Swift.
we know you listen. If the job opening is still available, just DM you boys and you gals.
So I'm just going to read off a quote at a time, and you just have to guess. Was it Taylor Swift or a Russian author?
Oh Lord. Okay.
No, Ward is a award-winning artist.
Yeah.
We're talking about Taylor
And
Swift.
I will be keeping track, by the
we'll
way.
never be czars.
And,
czars.
John
Russian
and
Revolution.
David, that's Lord.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Oh, sorry, I missed
There's
that.
a- yeah.
Sorry, I was judging.
Let's pay attention to Michael, who's doing the thing.
Yeah.
Says me for some reason.
You good? You good? You
Good
feeling this right now?
stretch.
All right. David and John don't know anything about what I'm about to say
No.
either. They haven't seen these, so if they'd like to play along, that's fine. But ultimately, this is
We're
going to be
gonna
up
let
to you
you
to
take the
decide.
lead, but if
All
you
right.
need peanut gallery feedback,
Yeah, I
we'll
probably
talk. We'll
won't.
talk it
I
over with
probably
you.
won't.
We'll talk it over.
Okay.
And by the way, these could be
Dostoevsky,
These-
like
no, hold
yeah,
on.
okay.
These could be quotes directly from the book. These could be thoughts from the author. These could be lyrics from Taylor. These could be quotes from Taylor.
Mm.
So it could be anything. So,
You put a lot of work into this.
oh, I did.
Oh, I'm ready.
First one. We are asleep until we fall in love.
Jesus.
Grows?
Russian.
That's Taylor Swift from her 2008 album.
You know, okay.
Love
If you don't
Sleeps.
get, if you don't know, you don't have to guess. Get David.
Yeah, I don't know, so I'm not going to guess.
It's Taylor on Twitter.
but
Go
it
ahead.
sounds a little Russian to me.
All right. Final answer.
Russian.
Olivia? All right.
Yeah.
That is Leo Tolstoy.
Oh.
War and Peace.
Yeah.
I'm going to put okay.
You're keeping score.
You are okay.
Okay, hell yeah.
Better than okay. Here we go.
I never leave well enough alone.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, concur.
I'm following the lead. T Swift.
Okay. You all are all three correct.
All right. That was during her.
No.
Okay.
I've been spending the last 8 months thinking all love ever does is break and burn and end.
Oh, come on.
Taylor Swift.
Concur.
This might be off a red. I don't know. Kind of a louder now guy, but I'm going to go with Swift.
I'll just go ahead and say it's true. Taylor Swift lyrics from Begin Again.
You're kind of a what guy?
I like red. It's fine.
Like communism. and Taylor Swift's album. Yeah.
Up next.
Oh, Lord.
I'm intimidated by the fear of being average.
Oh, that one's tough.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
No, see, that sounds communistic to
That
me.
was
So
Taylor
I'm going to go with
Swift.
some kind of a Russian Lenin.
David, what do you got?
Personally, that sounds very attacking. So
Mm.
I'm just going to go with me. I'm the problem.
All right, final answer, Olivia.
It's Taylor Swift.
You're correct.
I
Again,
know I am.
it's not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
Russian. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What
Yeah,
are
what
you
is Taylor
doing? What are
Swift?
you doing over there?
I have questions.
no, Taylor Swift's never been married. She would never kind of, I don't think. I don't want to misquote
we know.
of your reporting on this.
Oh, I haven't.
Okay,
well,
you've
I'm
not covered Taylor Swift.
no.
You are not
Yet.
on the official Taylor Swift.
I
beat.
don't know anything about that. No.
I'm going Russian too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Russian.
Well, you are correct. That's Dostoevsky.
Ah,
So far, Olivia is what 5 for 5, I
yeah.
believe.
Yeah, I think so.
That's impressive.
In Russia, that's 4 for 8
Okay. All right.
in Russia.
I think when it's all over, it just comes back in flashes.
Oh, that's Taylor Swift.
No, that's got to be like Rasputin. That was a Rasputin, I think.
Was Rasputin an author or just an oligarch?
He was just kind of a mystic.
Wait, can you say it again?
She's leaning towards Rasputin.
I think when it's all over, it just comes back in flashes.
When the Russian Revolution is over, the death of the Princess Anastasia and the
As
entire
Taylor Swift.
family comes back as flashes.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Swift.
Correct again.
God damn it.
That is from I Knew You Were Trouble.
Oh, I know.
That's
knew
red.
You were trouble when you. Yeah.
Look at you.
It's my favorite
Okay.
album.
We know. We know. Thank you for sharing.
Any idiot can face a crisis. It's this day-to-day living that wears you out.
Ooh, that was
Russian.
tough. That's tough.
That's so Russian.
You were very confident in that.
It's like Taylor Swift would never say anything like that.
Of course not. Yeah. That'd be stupid of her to say. It was Anton Chekhov. Olivia's correct again. She is very good at this game. Way better than I thought it'd be.
I think we just figured out your like life call. Like, this is like your mission in life now.
Yeah.
Man is what he believes.
Man is what he believes.
Man is what he
That's
believes.
Russian.
See, that sounds like some Kanye stuff. I'm going with Kanye West on that one.
It's not Kanye,
Kanye
John.
I mean, I'm just saying it could
Kanye's
be.
not
You're
an
ruining the
option
game.
here.
It could be Kanye.
I don't. I mean, it could be. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to hit your fancy mic. I'm so sorry.
Not that fancy.
All right, this is the first one that we might be stumping Olivia on, y'all.
Because it's such a short.
It's a very short one.
It's gotta be
that's not
Swift.
fair. What is it again?
Swift.
Man is what he believes.
I'm going Russian on that one all the way. I don't know who would have said it though.
I feel like it's a half line. I feel like there's a line before this, and then it's
Yeah,
like, man is what he
Did
believes.
you like? Is it a trick question? Did you like cut it in half?
Well,
is
he
it a
can't tell you.
clause?
That's not good
Is
journalism.
it a clause?
I-
Well, he's not a journalist.
I very
Yes, ma'am.
rarely did an ellipses on these, so they were full sentences.
Russian.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going Swift just to counter it.
Oh, actually, I'm still going Kanye. Just to be clear.
Okay.
Correct again, Olivia. We got another check off. Man, I did not expect all this. All right, I got to do a better job curating
I love
these.
this. No, this is really good. I'm having fun.
All right,
This is the last one.
think about this. We got a couple more. I'm not going to pull a John, but I got a couple more.
I'm gonna pull at me. I've got like 7 more.
Think about this carefully.
Sure.
The rest of the world was black and white, but we were screaming in color.
It's
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
No.
Wait. Repeat it.
That's
Repeat
the
it.
opening line from the
Stop.
Brothers Karamazov.
The rest of the world was black and white, but we were in screaming color.
Taylor Swift.
Until I killed my brother.
No.
Repeat it again.
Somebody has never read. Never mind. It's Taylor Swift from Out of the Woods.
Well, that's also the opening line to Dostoevsky, so she must have like borrowed that. I was just trying to throw you off your game, but apparently that's
All right.
impossible.
Is that true?
no, it's not true.
Because I was like, oh my God.
None of my facts
doing
are
a
true.
partner on
No,
a
no.
TikTok right
Now
now because
I'm-
we'll go viral.
Yes, yeah,
I am
dude, I am
committed
for
to
that.
stumping you, so I'm going to go above and beyond and doing more than I anticipated. Sorry, David. I know this frustrates you a little bit.
Well, we had to watch him open that bottle of wax. So, Mueller, you have free reign.
There's something so beautiful about being broken because that means you can be put back together.
I feel like that was Mein Kampf, honestly, or like something like that.
Is that like a new one that you just looked up that was on the list?
No, I have the list in front. It's just
It's on the list. Okay.
I just didn't expect to go this far because I really wanted to stump you on a couple. And
I mean, big Russian Revolution vibes for number one. But Taylor's been through quite a few revolutions.
I need to think.
All right.
This one.
All right.
This
Okay,
one,
okay,
one more time. Can you repeat
silence.
each syllable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's something so beautiful about being broken because that means you can be put back together.
As a society under communism.
I feel like this is from Humpty Dumpty.
yeah. The lesson is this. Well, yeah.
He had a great autumn.
That was good. That was good.
Not such a good fall.
I like that. Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
fall. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
This could go either way.
Can you say it again?
There's something so beautiful about being broken because that means you can be put back together.
Could we all vote first?
John's answer is false. I'm just gonna go with Taylor Swift.
No, it's Russian. That's like some War and Peace shit. Because it's true, it's deeply humanly true. It's a truth that implies
Which is
you've been
why
through
Taylor
some
Swift
tragedy.
speaks to all of us
Yeah,
too.
Taylor's
Taylor's
been through some goddamn tragedy. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, she gets broken up with. So does everybody.
No, she
So
breaks
what?
up with people.
Okay.
Like,
So I'd like to hear Olivia's answer.
I'm going Taylor Swift.
Final answer.
This is for your
Answer.
10 out of 10, I think. This is for all.
Final
you haven't missed
answer.
one yet, I don't think.
I have not.
Olivia's correct again.
Oh, clean sweep. Holy moly.
I have 4 more. Can I please try to stump you on these?
Yeah, let's go.
Well, can I just do one because I have it?
Yeah.
Here.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby.
That's so.
Is that Russian?
I think that might be Russian.
I think it's Russian.
I feel like it
That's
was
Russian.
I think that's from
Lolita.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis or Lolita.
Yeah.
I
So
think
your
might
answer is
be.
She
No, it's Taylor Swift. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
She likes to have
All
fun,
right,
but she
all
wants to
right,
get it
all
right.
I really,
Oh, yeah.
I really want
I-
to stump her on something. I didn't expect this
You,
game to go
you
long.
have 4 more.
I have 1.
How many
2,
of
3,
these
4. I have
total?
4 more.
How many total have you done?
I have 4 more.
No, how many?
Oh,
have you,
I mean, I feel
how
like
many
we're on,
did
like,
you
12.
prepare?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm just like going.
Yeah.
So we did 10 already.
Okay,
So I've done
you have
14.
14. Okay,
Yeah, and I
how
did
many
not-
did you think that you were going to?
I thought we could do
use?
like 10-ish,
Okay,
maybe
so-
7-ish, depending on how
All right.
difficult it was. But you've got a 100% so far, and I need
yeah,
to
I know
stump
that.
you.
Okay, let's try.
All right.
I'll try and
Everybody
get something
underestimating
wrong.
the Swifties.
All right. She's not a Swiftie, by the way.
I'm not
Well,
Swiftie.
I mean, you're like let's call
I'm just not
spade a
an
spade.
idiot.
Let's call
Yeah.
a spade a spade. Are you a Dostoevskyist? Because you're getting them all right.
I'm just
All
not
the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow.
All right, that's Russian. Come on,
Can you
use that in a sentence.
No, don't use that in a sentence.
I just did.
Just- can you say it again?
All the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made
It's
up of
Russian.
light and shadow.
Yeah,
I don't even care.
Taylor's
It's
not
Russian.
going to say
It's
that.
Russian.
Taylor's
it's
not doing
it's
that.
from Anna Karenina. So wow. All right,
Three more for batting 10,000.
3 more. This is impressive. This is way better than I thought you'd do.
You're about to bowl
Yeah,
300.
I mean, I love that you texted me the other day and you were like, I just came up with the greatest game to play between the segments. You're gonna love it. I'm so
I
proud.
was so proud and happy.
And I'm over here like
I had fun just
I'm
looking
having
it up.
fun. I'm glad that you had fun as well because I'm having fun now on your podcast.
Fucking crushing it.
I write to you. Well, what else can I do?
I write to you. Well,
I write
what else
to
can
you.
I do?
Well,
I write to you.
I
Well,
write to
what
you.
else can I do?
I write to you. Well, what else can I do?
I write to you.
Ooh.
Period.
Can I
well,
have a pen
comma.
and paper? No, I'm kidding. I don't need that. I write to you.
I have a theory, but I don't know if it's right or not.
Well,
By the way, as I stated earlier, these aren't necessarily just lyrics. They could be quotes. They could be,
can you say it again?
I write to you. Well, what else could I do? What else can I do?
Niet.
That's Russian.
Niet was not actually on there.
David?
Are we still on the Taylor Swift thing?
See,
I-
I am committed to getting one.
I think you're going to break her on this one. I think that's Taylor Swift.
I think that's Russian.
I think you're going to get it right here. That's Taylor Swift. Why would a Russian novelist say "well"? I don't even know if that translates. Well, comma.
I don't even know. Honestly,
She's-
it's Eugene Ongen. So yes, it's Russian.
Damn it.
All right.
Damn it. Now I'm actually very happy for you. I'm like so not upset.
I'm so
One more,
I'm-
right?
I'm
Two
terrified.
more.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
We might as well go with the gamut here, right? So
Let's just hit. Are they both the same? I don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I'm not
sorry.
going to.
I was like, can you maybe combine them into
No.
one?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm fine. I'm sitting here and I'm ready.
Olivia, I just
know-
want you to know we believe in you right now.
I
You've
know
got the
I'm-
whole audience on
I'm
your
looking,
side.
I looked up and I looked at your horse
Mhm.
statue with the blazer on. That's a nice blazer, by the way.
well,
The shacket, actually, that's very in right
I'll
now.
use
It's
that in
very
my shout out.
Actually, the
2023.
shackets are on the way out. That's
Oh,
what
are they
people-
already? Because
Yeah,
Costco just picked them up.
that's not a shacket though. That's a blazer. I'd like to
Okay.
try that on afterwards. That's nice.
it's for a coat drive, but you could have it if you donate another coat.
So I
Oh, I
know,
got you.
I
I
know
got
that
you. I can
John.
do that.
I'm pulling a John right now. So
Oh, Lord.
yeah, I'm going to wrap this up.
Okay.
Your health is bound to be affected if day after day you say the opposite of what you feel.
Oh, that's so Russian.
That's Swift.
And I'm not going to repeat this one.
I mean, that's Dostoevsky up and down. That's like literally
Russian.
what. Oh, don't let me influence you. You're batting 10,000.
No, it's Russian.
All right.
If anything, she's influencing you, John.
All
Let's
right.
be
All right.
honest.
All right. All right.
Boris Pasternak,
Oh,
Dr.
thank
Zabeel.
God. Thank God. I'm literally rooting for you. I know you have one more. Just do it. Just do it.
All right, I saved the best one for last.
If you
Oh,
win this,
Lord.
there has to be some kind of a No. We will make an award for you, and you will get it. We will not give it
Thank
to some
you.
bullshit artist.
He's very good at making
yeah,
trophies.
yeah. We will make you a trophy. We will make
Okay.
you a trophy.
I loved you,
All right.
and perhaps I love you still.
This one's hard.
Taylor
Holy
Swift.
fuck. I'm no commentary from me on this one.
Taylor
This is
Swift.
for all the fucking marbles.
Taylor Swift.
I'm going to withhold my vote as well.
Final answer? Pushkin.
No! Oh, he's lying. No.
Alexander Pushkin. Last one.
Oh!
You know
Had
what?
that. Last one.
We're still going to make you an award. It's just going to be second place.
To be fair, you got 13 out of 14 correct. That's impressive.
It's
That's
still-
so
it
much
still
better than I
hurts.
thought you'd do.
I was like rooting for you so hard. I thought we were going all the way.
You got to the national championship. You were there. You were making you were about to make an Aaron Harrison shot, and it just missed. Oh, but that's all right. You made it. You went all the rounds against Apollo Creed, and that's good enough. For
So,
us.
ladies and gentlemen of the press, if you're looking for a candidate to be the Taylor Swift reporter,
No.
let us submit for your consideration. More
Or-
Olivia Krauth.
or if you're looking for somebody that can speak to Russian literature,
If you're looking for a Russian literature correspondent,
so thanks for playing. I know that was a little weird.
And a
I was
second
very
place
excited.
award
No,
winner.
that was fun.
no, you fucking nailed it. Like you nailed it. You nailed
that was
it.
fun. I mean, like if you had just stopped asking questions when you thought that you were going to stop
All right,
asking
wait
questions.
a second, because I clearly remember somebody saying, "This is so much
Dang,
fun.
all right.
Keep going, keep going."
Well,
I did.
I think that was
but
David.
I encouraged. Yeah, I think it was.
That was David.
so to that point,
Thanks, David.
I believe
No,
you also have
my
a
motto is quit while you're ahead. So I
also true.
would have quit after the first question.
I believe you just showed and told us
Yeah.
a lot right there.
Yeah.
But you have another one for us as well.
Do I?
I believe you do.
Not really. I think I think that was very telling.
Okay. So we should just skip this next segment then, and
Skip what segment?
the second show and tell,
Oh,
because you brought something else that
I-
seems to
I
have
mean,
some
I-
value to you.
I brought a ton of stuff. I brought my emotional support water bottle with me.
Is
She's
this-
over there.
sitting right
It's in the
there.
distance, but
Is
you
it-
got eyes on her.
Is this a Stanley?
It's not a Stanley. It's a Stanley dupe because I'm poor, because I'm unemployed.
That's an investment.
I brought some turkey pinwheels.
Is that something you feel passionate about?
It is actually.
We should eat them.
Yeah, tell us about
go
it.
ahead. No, I don't know exactly what I want to say about the turkey pinwheels.
Why did you bring them?
Because I was hungry, and so and it appears that there is no
Well, much like Fancy Farm, at the end of our podcast, you get food. So
no, but
this is exciting.
I mean, I
We're
had
excited.
I actually ate the food at Fancy Farm during the Fancy Farm.
Okay.
These are actually very fancy. They're boar's head.
Oh, I've heard about that brand.
Oh, yeah, that's some.
So
Yeah,
they're
I know
not
you-
just like the Kroger brand, which is.
But you buy them at Kroger, at the dirty Kroger specifically, I'm sure.
Okay, do
You
not
can get
reveal
those on
my
Goss.
my address.
If you're talking about Clifton Liquors, I can only assume you
Oh, yeah,
frequent dirty
no,
Kroger, which is, by the way,
It's not
the
dirty
second
Kroger.
to best.
It's
Kroger
it's
in
not a
Louisville.
bad Kroger.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've been trying to rebrand this for a couple of years. It is on Brownsboro. It is in the lower Brownsboro. I call it the Lowboro Kroger.
Low bro, I like that a lot.
Which is honestly because I get all my. I don't get all of them, but like half of my prescriptions I get filled at the, I guess, upper borough.
Upboro.
Up bro. Yeah. What's up, bro?
And so that can be very confusing for me as a person and as a psychiatric client. But here,
Well,
Please
Olivia, do you
enjoy.
mind if we give some tasting notes on these?
no, yeah, absolutely.
spare
That's
me.
it's
And if we can
everything.
just get like the technical, it was a Boar's Head, vintage 2023.
I don't know.
It's just
These
It
look like
was-
some
it was-
pinwheel, turkey, maybe some like Colby
have-
Jack.
You just do whatever you want.
I immediately
with them.
feel
Well,
satiated.
I am actually
Yeah,
incredibly
I immediately
thankful
feel
that you brought
better.
these because I
Oh,
was
wow.
They
John's-
have here if you want. This is exactly The
Oven Gold's turkey, Vermont cheddar cheese, roasted red peppers. That really comes through in the nose.
Oh,
and
dude,
then
it's
lettuce
you gotta,
wrapped
it's right there. You
in a
gotta.
lavash.
How do you?
You can see everything actually.
Yeah. Are you gonna take a bite? Is it good? How does it taste?
You tell me, but pretty good.
I don't
Honestly,
have one.
Pretty
in my
good.
hand.
you can have one.
Well,
I'm always actually here
eat
for
your
wraps
food.
as well. So
sorry. Thank you.
this is a big win for the
I always
podcast.
appreciate when people bring dinner. And now that John's full, I can transition to Louisville Beer Fest. We're hosting that on October 20th at German American Club in the historic German American Club right off Lincoln Avenue. This is your only place to try every Louisville brewery that exists, hopefully, as long as we can all fit them in there. There's a lot more than we tried even last year. Great time to kick off our 8-day celebration of Louisville Beer Week, October 20th through October 27th. That's 8 full days of programming, guys. We got 2 festivals, 2 panels, and 1 surprise little... Oh, yeah, I said 2 festivals, so I kind of give it away. But there is 1 surprise little festival coming out here soon. We're going to have a great time out there. We had a great time last year. There's going to be 360 cameras. There's going to be DJs. There's going to be bingo. Maybe
some karaoke.
Maybe some karaoke. And you can try all your favorite Louisville beers. And if you've been like hanging on one of those pesky passports that's been hanging around since maybe like 3rd edition, or maybe even right after we stopped putting editions on them, you can finish them that night. Finish them. Like, get done. That's the place to do it. It's really easy. $10 to get in. Sample all your pours. If you want to buy tickets in advance, you can do that too and get a couple pours of samples like included in your ticket. It's a really easy way to get in and get through some really neat beers. But we'll be there from 5 to 10. And I am very excited. John said he would blow all the leaves out before you guys came there so you didn't like slip and fall. I mean, I just can't think of enough for that.
That's time well spent,
Well spent.
The fact that you guys are so immature that you don't respect leaf blowing just tells me everything you need to know.
I think you're good at
all the
blowing, and
fathers
I'll
out
give
there
you
know.
all the credits that you need.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And I did mention that we're going to have 2 panels. The one that I'm personally very excited for is one that we hosted last year and we're going to repeat this year. It is the barrel panel that we do. We talk a lot about how wood imparts flavor and character and how you treat things. We've had a couple guests on the podcast about barrel panels. I'm sorry, about barrels specifically. So we're like, hey, we're from Kentucky. There's more barrels than there are people. Let's host a panel. So we're bringing in some pretty heavy heat. We've got Marty from Revolution. We've got Andrew Vinebrink coming. We've got Jessica from H&A Barrel Management moderating the panel. This is Roger Huff is coming.
So many former friends of the show, too.
So
which
many
is great.
friends of the show.
Which is great.
Oh yeah, and Jackie's like
Friends of the show.
I got Roger in there. But this is going to be really a heavy hitting panel. There's going to be a curated tasting with it as well. I'm really excited to see how this goes. Only because I know what I know, and the kind of like room that we're building here is going to, anybody that thinks they know anything, I'm guaranteeing you're going to walk out of here with a lot more information than what you started with. That'll be at Third Turn next door out in J-Town. It's a very beautiful, intimate space. We're going to only have space for about 40 people. So if you want to get on that, I would do it very soon.
It's going to be...
Wow, David, that was a lot of information.
It's a lot of good information. If you want to learn more, LouisvilleAleTrail.com/Louisville Beer Week. It's going to be a great time. Olivia, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I know you just actually picked up your passport. Thank you so much for participating in this journey with us. We're going to do a little surprise segment, one that we learned. It's just going to be a little quick one, but it's one that we learned from former guest Matt Watson Henderson. Second Street Pub. He doesn't listen.
The Pub on Second.
The Pub on Second. Thank you, John.
Wow, John came through with an actual answer.
That was accurate.
Holy shit.
He didn't even guess.
They are valued at $10.5 billion.
The last time he was on here, he introduced a segment for us that I actually personally liked. It was called "What in the Hell Does It Taste Like Now?" And I've been holding on to this beer for a special occasion for about 3 and maybe 3.5 years now. I didn't really know what I was holding it on to for, and I feel like this is the perfect guest to share this beer with.
I agree.
Because it was, ladies and gentlemen, in the height of COVID, when parody and comedy was, being forced.
Oh, I have an idea.
And this has been in the back of my fridge, and I've just been, again, thinking, what could I possibly use this for? ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to the by Blue Stallion Brewing Company, Shandy Beer Shear.
Shandy is usually designed as a beer cocktail, not really designed for aging.
No,
Has been in a can for a long time.
This is not going to be good. I think we know that right now. But Olivia, just tell us a little bit about this label. Tell us a little bit about the can that you see.
I hope Daniel Cameron does not use this against us.
I'm just going to take...
This is a reminder of the bad times.
It really is. I remember sitting in my apartment like crying as I got that beer too. So they also made a Virginia can as well, by the way. I actually drank that a lot sooner than I kept on to that one.
I have both of these.
Wow.
I don't want to open them, so I'm glad you're doing it. I'm waiting for Indy to become president so I can sell it.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'll be vintage. That'll be vintage.
Shandy Beer
Wow.
Shear. Andy Bashir, governor of Kentucky.
Yeah, you just pop it on the top.
here.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I have to...
Yeah, inspect it.
I'm used to just speaking and people listening, but like
So
I have to
you're
really...
doing what I would call pulling a David Satterley, when you get a really incredibly old beer and then you just like turn it topsy-turvy all over the United States of America, or at least the Commonwealth
I
of
do
Kentucky.
really like this this piece where it's the shape of Kentucky, but it's got Andy from Toy Story.
Yep.
You know, I hope they paid in royalties.
They
in
did
some
not, obviously
capacity,
not.
obviously.
No, this is
I would
completely
say they also have
I'm
some
looking.
like
Is there no expiration date on this?
No. Is there an expiration date on Andy Bashir?
So there's some like little things in here, like there's some.
Do you want me to answer that?
I mean,
It says we're all in this together. It's a lemonade and lager shandy.
Lemonade and lager.
All in this together. Next slide, Kenny. Sorry, Kenneth.
yeah.
Kenny. I don't know. Whatever.
I thought it was Kenneth.
I think it's
I
Kenneth.
feel like Kenneth. Yeah.
My mind went to 30
I
Rock
hope
for a
this
second.
explodes.
I can
Yeah, it's gonna
personally promise you it's Kenneth. But
Hey,
All right.
beautiful.
So
Yeah.
again, we know this isn't going to be good, but if there was ever time to open up an Andy Bashir beer,
Yeah.
I want it to be with Olivia.
It's
Naturally.
fruity.
Thank
it had a lot of
you.
fun things going on, but now it's just old as shit.
Yeah.
Oh, what a metaphor.
Is that a metaphor?
I was just trying to joke. I actually think Andy's pretty cool. He drank a Kentucky Common with us, or at least said he would one time. So
Is that from the glass or from the beer?
It's from the glasses.
that's from
plastic.
your old stupid pouring. Honestly,
No,
If you-
that little speck of dirt is not from my pouring.
I don't
so-
even know where that glass
I
came
think
from.
that
Honestly,
might be
so.
a bug.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Oh well, I'll just drink from the can.
Yeah.
If there was a David Cameron beer, what would it be called, and what kind of style would it be?
Daniel.
Who's David?
Daniel. Yeah.
Dang it.
Too close. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
He's got two first names.
I think it's going to be good. I'm actually pumped
I
for
don't-
this.
I don't trust people. It's your first names, by the way.
It smells nice and fruity.
Still,
Is this a lemon shandy? Is this a
lemonade
Yeah, yeah.
and lager?
Okay.
Oh, that's funny. It's like you weren't listening.
Oh, of course I was not listening.
I know.
All right, let's.
I don't want to cheers
I mean,
to
it
this. This
kind of holds up,
is-
guys.
It smells a little funky.
Next slide, Kenneth.
It kind of holds up. It's fine. It's just fine.
B. St. Louis.
I do want to
not-
give a quick shout out to Kenneth. I think he reached out to me after I quit my job, and I don't think I ever responded to him. So I'm sorry,
Oh.
Kenneth. My friends love you.
It literally says, "Don't disappoint Andy." Like multiple times on
That
this can.
is.
Do you remember the Govern Me Daddy days? The memes? You guys remember that shit? Olivia does. Michael apparently does.
I do.
David's eating a roll up, but that's fine.
I watch that
Just
shit
a
every
pinwheel.
day at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Actually, so for me, for being a shandy, like it's still fine. I mean,
That's
it's
what I
not
don't-
like good, but like it's
It's good.
It's fine.
It's I mean, for a fucking whatever 3-year-old shandy, like that's pretty fucking good. Like
David's
it's
eating a
just
pinwheel
fine.
right now as if it was a fruit roll up.
Thank you, David. Thank you for this.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna ever unsee that. Oh my god!
So, Olivia, welcome to the show. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for
I've-
coming tonight.
I've loved it.
I'm
Every
voting
second
libertarian from
of
here on
it.
out.
To that point, you know, there's a lot coming up right now. Do you have anything that you'd like people to know about? Anything you'd like to plug? Social media channels, etc.
If you have my trophy, please, dear God, contact me immediately. Like, please. That's all I want.
All right.
Yeah.
We're
Also,
gonna-
if you have a job for me,
I mean, you can only pick one trophy or job, you know? I mean, you gotta.
No, I want both.
Fair enough. John, what do you got?
I'm going to shout out Olivia's new coat. We are also doing a coat drive in the store this week with the
I do have
Oddfellows
coats.
Lodge number whatever. I'll put it in the show notes.
This week.
Can't remember. Month, I think. But if you guys have some old coats, bring them on in, drop them off at the headquarters of Louisville L Trail, Brewgrass Homebrew Supply, and you'll get entered to win $100 and you get 20% off anything that you buy. So give your old coats that you know you're not doing jack shit with to a good cause this holiday winter season.
David, what do you got?
I'm going to shout out Oktoberfest. It's come and gone already. It's one of the best seasonal beer times of the year. There's all kinds of different interpretations. It's always good to taste them all, and they all go extremely fast. So I'm really happy to have tried several this year and participated in a few Oktoberfest. I think it's a great time to bring people together, and I just like it.
I like it too.
I'm going to plug a book that Olivia actually recommended on Twitter like 2 months ago that I read I finished a couple weeks ago. All the Gold Stars, Rainsford Stoffer.
I
believe so.
I honestly don't know, but that's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great Kentucky author. I actually didn't even know that she was a Kentuckian until after I finished the book and like I actually looked her up because I was really impressed by the book. If you've ever struggled with the idea of ambition and pressure and just like doing all the things and what that means to your own mental health, that was a very good book. And, you know, Olivia can always talk about that too, I guess, but I really enjoyed it. So thank you for that recommendation.
Yeah, and she has another book. That was actually her sophomore book. I'm totally blanking on her first book, but she has another one. She's from, I think, Owensboro.
Who knows? If you
I
want to
don't
know,
know.
look her up.
I'll look her up.
Yeah, and that's
Right now.
Yeah, all the Gold Stars, ladies and gentlemen. Olivia, thank you so much for coming. Everybody else, thanks for listening and take care.
Taylor Swift spelled best album was Red. I just wanted that on the record.